Today I'm here with a tier list for Clash of Clans, ranking all of the troops, telling you guys which ones I think are best in 2021. What is up, my friends? My name is Echo and welcome back to the channel, where today I'm taking a deep dive, a look at all the troops in Clash and seeing how relevant they are in the current metas. Now, keep in mind, it's the beginning of the year 2021 and meta changes happen all the time. So when those changes happen, of course, things can change, right? It doesn't always stay the same, which means we can update this list in a few months and continue doing that. Also, I want to bring you guys one on spells, heroes, siege units, and all that kind of stuff. Before we get into the video and any of my rankings, make sure you subscribe to the channel and ring the bell for daily mobile gaming videos, many of which are focused on Clash of Clans right here on the channel. Just so you guys know, we're in the Scrappy Wizards, which is my home clan, and we are just showing some gameplay in the background for you guys to enjoy while we start looking at these troops. The first of which is the Barbarian. Now, it's worth thinking about here that troops are relevant at certain town hall levels, and then their relevancy kind of goes away sometimes, or they become relevant in the later game. But the Barbarian is a troop that is really often used, especially for farming or funneling, especially at lower town hall levels. Utilizing the Barch attack strategy is going to net you a ton of rewards for very cheap costs. It's not going to cost you a lot to do the attack. So Barbarians are pretty important. They're pretty vital, especially for farming. Now, this chart goes from S being the best all the way down to F being the worst. We're going to give the Barbarian an A. Next up are the archers, and much like the Barbarian, they're needed for that same strategy called Barge, vital for farming at lower town hall levels and even relevant at higher town hall levels. We're going to go ahead and give the archers, like the Barbarians, an A, which brings us along to the Giants. Jai Barch is another strategy. Giants are used in many bow witch attacks. Giants are used for tanking across Clash of Clans. Are they a troop that you need to 3-star? No, they are not, but are they a troop that is really helpful in grabbing those 3 stars? 100%, I believe so. And because of this, we're giving the Giant, like the Barbarian, like the Archer, an A. It looks like everything so far is on the same grading scale. But what about the goblins, right? These goblins, some people love Goblin Knife. But if it were not for Goblin Knife, I would say that the goblins are not as relevant. They don't do as much. They're a little bit more difficult to use when farming or actually when funneling, because, well, they only go after storages. So goblins, although some people are going to hate me for it, I'm going to give them a B. Next up, we have those wall breakers, and yeah, wall breakers are incredible. They get you inside of the wall. And now keep in mind, we're not talking about super troops today. We're only talking about the regular troop compositions, where wall breakers are really often used when we're doing some queen charges and things like that. I'm going to go ahead and give the wall breakers an A, moving us along to the balloons. Balloons are part of a strategy that is one of the strongest in Clash of Clans, and that is Lalo. Some type of a queen charge Lalo, Sui Lalo, kill squad Lalo. Whether you're doing Lunyan for farming, balloons are vital to success in Clash of Clans air attack strategies, often being used for support roles as well. We have to go ahead and give the balloons the first S of the day. They are, in my opinion, a top tier troop in Clash of Clans. So what about the Wizard, which is next on today's list? The Wizard is a big support troop, often used for funneling, pretty important in Clash of Clans, although there are not many strategies that pull in 3 stars on the back of the Wizard. We're gonna go ahead and give the Wizard an A, because it's really good. It's really, really good. But it's not one of those troops that you must have. The Wizard can be replaced with other troops, where the balloons really can't. You need balloons for those certain strategies. Following the Wizard, we have the healers. And I mean, we're watching it in this attack right here. Queen charge, queen walk, kill squad that are supported by healers are so high level in Clash of Clans. Certain players get themselves really to be elite players because of these healers. It's really a huge part of strategy in Clash of Clans. Because of this, the healers are receiving an S. And next up, we have dragons. Dragons are awesome. When you first start playing Clash of Clans, you unlock dragons and suddenly think you are going to be the best player in the game. In early game, when you see a dragon pop out of a defensive clan castle, you cower in fear because everyone loves these dragons. At the end of the day, they are a really good troop. There's some different kill squad, dragon attacks, drag bat attacks. We have even some type of attacks where you come in with a queen charge and follow it up with dragons. Again, we have another A tier troop. The P.E.K.K.A. Much like the dragon in Clash of Clans, the P.E.K.K.A. is highly desired. And then when you have this P.E.K.K.A., you realize that maybe she's not as strong. Maybe she's able to be stopped really easily in Clash of Clans if you don't solidify those attacks and really figure out what it is you need to do. So the P.E.K.K.A., like the dragons, is going to get an A ranking, although she is part of a couple of attack strategies that are really dominant in Clash of Clans. After the P.E.K.K.A., we move on to baby dragons, which, much like the wizard, are really used for support in the game. They're really great for when you're trying to funnel your troops in the right direction or clean up on the back of end of the attack. Because of this, the baby dragon is going to get an A tier for that baby dragon. Miners, though, miners for days. Part of one of the strongest strategies right now in Clash of Clans being the hybrid, coming with queen charge mass miners. Farm everything from Town Hall 10 on using queen charge miner or mass miner. One of my favorite troops in the game. You know, call it my favorite, call it what you will. I think it believes it. I think that it deserves an S tier. And next, the Electro Dragons, which is perfect because we're watching an E-Drag attack right now clean up the base, and this is what I call the new player's favorite troop. You spam in your Electro Dragons, drop a bunch of balloons in behind, and you have a good chance of taking down, at least for 2 stars, really condensed and tight bases. Electro Dragons are feared by many from the clan castle, although they're not the hardest to deal with once you get it all figured out. Electro Dragons are solid in Clash of Clans. They've earned their position. They are not number 1. And I would say, are they number 2? It's going to be between an A and a B. If there were in-between scores, I would give it. But I guess for the newer players, keeping them in mind, I'm going to give the Electro Dragon an A. Which brings us to the Yeti. The Yeti is used everywhere. Yeti Smash, Yeti Bombs. Oh, of course, this is all being done at higher Town Hall levels. I personally love the Yeti. It's a great part of different type of spam attack strategies inside of Clash of Clans. Everyone can be using the Yeti, and I think I'm going to have to give this one an S tier, top of the line. So now we're here with the minions, right? Minions are another one of those support troops. They're used on the back end of Lalo, on the back end of TDH. They actually have a heavy role in TDH. Minions can come in clutch. They can clean up different parts of the base, plus they can funnel bases as well. I personally love the minion. I think that they have a huge role inside of Clash of Clans, but they are not detrimental to success. Minions are going to go ahead and get an A. Following the minion are Hog Riders, and like the miners, Hog Riders are part of one of the strongest strategies in Clash of Clans. That has been one of the strongest strategies in Clash of Clans for some time now, being the hybrid strategy. So you could come in with the hybrid, which is miners and hogs. You can come in with a queen charge hog, a kill squad hog. You can come in with a Sui hog attack strategy. Hogs are not only amazing troops in the game, they've become some of the favorites of many people who play the game. Hog Riders are deservingly going to get themselves an S for the ranking, a top level ranking. But Valkyries come in next as we're getting into, or actually we've dove into a little while ago with those minions, but we're into those dark elixir troops. I personally love Valkyries. I think that there's a lot of potential with them, but we really don't see much of them being used. Falcon attack strategy is no longer anything crazy. It's not used that much in Clash of Clans. And really the only time you'll see Valkyries are once in a while for funneling, once in a while to deal with an enemy hero, or sometimes you'll see it in the Yeti bomb with 2 Yeti and a Valkyrie in that siege, the siege unit. So I think, unfortunately, very sad to me, we have to give the Valkyrie a lower rating because it's not really relevant right now in Clash of Clans. We need to bring it back, but you might fight me on this one, guys, but I have to give the Valkyrie a C. I know, I'm sad about giving it the C. I want it to be higher. But right now, she just doesn't deserve it. She's just not being used enough. You don't see enough attacks being used with the Valkyrie. She's really not even needed right now in Clash. We're up to Golem, and they are still one of the best and most popular and favorite tanks inside of Clash of Clans. Nothing quite tanks like a Golem. They're just super strong, super tanky, and the only thing that you really have to worry about big time with them is an Inferno Tower set on single. We're seeing Golem used in many different strategies for tanking many different attacks at many different Town Hall levels, earning them an S tier. They are really amazing. They're a step above the Giants in my opinion, especially at the higher level. I mean, Golem are an S tier. That's all you got to say about it, especially when we're talking about the next troop, which is the Witch. We just watched a Witch attack strategy, the Bow Witch attack strategy, which has Golem in the front, then bowlers, and then witches. We have these witches that have come big time into the meta. We have Mass Witch going on right now. We have Lightning Zap Witch going on right now. We have Bow Witch still working inside of Clash of Clans. Witches spam out bases better than any other troop. There's no other troop that does it quite like the Witch. She earned herself an S tier on today's list. The Lava Hound comes in next, and we talked about the power of those balloons, but without something to tank the skies, the balloons just won't have that same effect. They won't be able to do as much as they should inside of Clash of Clans. So the Lava Hounds are the Golem of the skies. They're doing really well in Clash of Clans. They've never left the meta, and they probably never will, receiving themselves another S tier, a must-have troop in Clash. And speaking of must-have troops, we can't go on without talking about the Bowler. We saw it in Bow Witch. We see it in kill squads going into the core of bases. We see it used basically as soon as you get them until you decide that you don't want to use them anymore, which is almost never. People use bowlers in almost all army compositions. They're really brutal, especially when you rage them up in the core of a base. We got to go ahead and give the bowlers an S tier today as well. And I'm noticing there's a lot of S tier troops, which to me means many troops inside of Clash of Clans are really relevant, which is props to Supercell for giving most of the troops in the game a spot where they work well. And you know, it's like there's nothing that's really that irrelevant in my opinion right now in Clash. Getting into the Ice Golem, which is, as we're getting close to the end of the list, the Ice Golem is used in a few attack strategies. In my opinion, it does not take the place of a Golem. It does not tank the same, although it does have that freezing effect. It's a really nice troop, and it can be used in many different ways. You could have some tanking going on for heroes. You could do a bunch of them going into the core of the base, offering tank ability plus then freeze ability, but they do get flung off the map with spring traps. We got to give an A to the Ice Golem. And the Headhunter. Oh, the Headhunter, the newest troop to Clash of Clans. One that has so much potential, and that is used in defensive clan castles from time to time, and it's also used on offense when you're sending your queen charge in. You want to slow down an enemy hero that your queen is going to have to deal with. But the Headhunter really is not getting a ton of value in Clash of Clans. Is it needed? I would have to argue that the Headhunter is not needed. You can add it to attacks to add a little bit of flair, to get a little bit fancy. You know, some really higher end attackers can really be strategic and really just, you know, pin dropping tile for tile, as some people would say, their troops. And then the Headhunter is really good for those high strategy attacks where you're really planning things out hardcore. I'd say for most attackers or average attackers, they're not going to get the use out of the Headhunters. And you know, it's sad to say it right now, but I'm like battling myself, deciding if the Headhunter deserves a C or a D. And I would say that the Headhunter has about as equal value as the Valkyrie in Clash of Clans, although I do prefer the Valkyrie. That's a personal choice. I would have to say that we have to go ahead and give the Headhunter a C as well. I would say one of the least valuable troops inside of Clash of Clans when you look at all different Town Hall levels and where the relevance would lie. Headhunters have to be at the bottom of the list. Does this mean they need a buff? They probably need something, in my opinion. Sometimes buffs can come in less camp space. Sometimes it can come in, I don't know, maybe a little bit more power. We'll have to see. But right now, we're not seeing them in army compositions all over the place until we start looking at, you know, some of those high-end attacks. And that is my tier list for 2021 for the beginning of the year. And of course, these are my opinions. Your opinions may very much vary. You could let me know your thoughts down below, or you can come through my Discord server, which is the pinned comment down below, and let me know your thoughts over there. Remember guys, I'm also live streaming multiple times a week over on Twitch. Come on through, we can hang out and chat it up outside of the comments, outside of Discord, you know, real personal interaction through a computer screen and a cam and a microphone. Either way, hope you enjoyed today's video. I'll have more tier lists coming for other different elements of the game: super troops, siege units, heroes, spells. We'll see how you guys like this one and decide if I want to do more. Have a great day. Be good.